how do you guys as a founding team go, that's a great, SpaceX, NASA, 7 months from conversation to going live, we should do that. Whereas maybe a recovery for military personnel, you're like, that's too big a jump for us. How do you look at opportunities and say no to the things that aren't opportunities? They're shiny objects that are going to derail you.
Yeah, so it's a really good question. Firstly, the NASA SpaceX is a great example of this, right? So when we had the conversation, obviously we didn't know it was going to be 7 months to get in. We had no idea of where it was going to go. We just had a guy called Cody Burtt, who was chief of the human works in NASA, support us with an application to SpaceX. And then we were like, okay, don't know what's going to happen. And then we went over to Houston in kind of the April of, 2024, again to something called, it's called the TIM, which is like an event at the Space Center in Houston where a lot of companies like us present. And we went to saw SpaceX then. And it was just a punt. Right, it's like there's an opportunity here. We're not quite sure where it's going to lead to. We believe in Cody because he's got an influential position. We're going to take that punt and see where it goes. And also, I trust my team, so I know if I put Joe and Warren from our team in the right situation, they can deliver. Right. And so it was like, okay, trust your team. Go over there. We're not sure what's going to happen. It's not going to cost a huge amount. It's like a few £1,000s to go over and do this event and go to see SpaceX. And then it just snowballed from there. And it's like, okay, cool, it's going somewhere. Let's put more effort into it and let's try and land it. We get opportunities all the time because I guess people are starting to see us now and they contact us and go, oh, do you want to do this, that, and the other? And historically, we've been really poor at going no. And now we're getting really clear on it. So we've got kind of like, one of the things that changes, I guess, from being kind of startup to maybe a scale up, if you want to put those terms on it, is you start planning longer. And if you plan longer, then you go, these are things we want to achieve. And if the opportunity comes in, it doesn't ladder up to that, then why are you thinking about it or doing it at all? So military is on our roadmap now. And so we have started selling to the military because it was such a clear, like you talked about, the use cases are phenomenal. And they've started, like, I can't name obviously which countries are selling or we're selling to, but the obvious ones are using the product and they're finding it's really beneficial and it's starting to escalate. And that could be a big B2B place for us. But we've got to be careful. Like, a lot of people talk to us about like Hyrox because that's obviously like booming at the moment. And down the line, Hyrox would be a great opportunity for us, but their consumers not ready for Hytro.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's lots of complications. For example, like one of the things that Hyrox athletes like do is take their clothes off.
Yeah.
So we're wearing a t-shirt with it in. Like, we don't really take it off. Doesn't make any sense. So
maybe it's got to be Hytro pants.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless they do naked Hytro, you're safe there.
Yeah. So you've got to think about where the opportunities are, how it ladders up. That saying no is becoming increasingly important in what we do. So we're now relatively clear on kind of what we need to do for the next few years to get to Series A. If it doesn't ladder up to that, don't do it, or really consider like why it should change the objectives you've got. And that's part of this process. When you're a startup, you're almost clutching at everything, right?
Of course you are.
Any opportunity comes, you go, oh, I better do that, better do that. And I see that in other founders, right?
Yeah.
They take everything that's coming and you have no idea of their like strategic plan or what they're doing.
Yeah.
And again, I was speaking to some founders yesterday, and I love speaking to founders early in the journey simply because I've been doing this for 7 years and I've learned so much, and I can see how naive I was at the beginning, and I can see exactly the same replicated in founders right now. And I was speaking to them, right? You've got to make a decision. Try at the beginning to work out what kind of company do you want to be. Do you want to be a VC-backed company? Do you want to have a kind of a lifestyle business? Because it actually changes the route you want to grow and where you want to exit. Like, do you want to have a business you can exit in 2 years to a VC-backed business becomes like $1 billion? It's completely different. And the sooner you get clarity on what you want, the easier then strategically is to like move in the right way. And they've got a great product, but they haven't got the clarity in what they want to do yet, and that causes a lot of problems, and then you'll end up wasting a lot of time and resources.
Yeah, you're so right. And people who are listening to this will, and you wouldn't have listened to that advice 7 years ago, because like I say, you're clutching at the straws, and that could be an opportunity, and that could be an opportunity. But there is absolutely a golden nugget within that of getting real clarity, and not like start with why clarity on what your life's purpose, although that is part of it as well. But being really clear on where are you going, and so that only something huge will knock you off that North Star mission. Because like I say, maybe if military wasn't on there, but you had enough knocks on the door like, hello, we want to buy your stuff. You go, okay, we're getting a lot of, this is the size of this market, but it's still B2B. So we're not in the D2C space. They want it as is. We don't have to make huge differences in software and build out all this stuff. That makes sense, but it's got to be huge to knock you off the roadmap that you're on.
Just do less and do it better is kind of the main thing.
Yeah, right? And I think also with the, you saying no's becoming more important, I think that's also a sign of success, because the more things that you have to say no to is a sign that the things you're currently doing is working really well. Whereas, like I say, if you're all the time having a meeting about this, a meeting about that, you're running all over town about, this is an opportunity, that's an opportunity. You're probably trying to make opportunity or manufacture an opportunity rather than organically letting one be created, which can sound a little bit airy-fairy, but I think that does come from genuine success.